Hello Designs to Fit family, come over here. Let me show you how to make a mermaid skirt with a train. If this sounds like what you're interested in learning, keep on watching and let's get started. So I'm going to mark out my hip points, the knee points, and then the full length of this paper is going to be the full length of the skirts, okay? And the top of the paper is going to be the waist points. So let's go ahead and mark it out. I have the waist, the hip, the knee, and the full length. Now I'm going to divide my waist circumference by 4, mark it out. Divide my hip circumference by 4, mark it out. And then the knee circumference divided by 4, I would mark it out. And then the next thing is to connect the points together. Can you see? Now I'll move over to the full length of the skirt and I'm going to mark out whatever it is, how wide I want the hemline to look. Okay, so go ahead and mark it out, and please bear in mind that this paper should be on fold. You're going to assume your paper is on fold, okay, just as if you are cutting out on fabric. Now I am done with that and I went ahead to cut out. So this is our front. Now I'm going to bring in another paper so that we can cut out the back. Now I have my paper. You can see the paper is wide enough. So from the center fold, I'm going to mark out 14 inches. This depends on how wide you want the back to also look, okay? So after marking it out, I went ahead to connect it vertically. Now after that, I'm going to place my front on this line, okay? Just immediately after the line, I would place my front and I'm going to cut out the shape of my skirts, all right? And then after these nests, I'm going to go ahead and mark out my zipper allowance, okay? So on the waistline, I'm going to come out by ½ an inch. And on the hip, I did 1.5 inches. On the knee, I also did ½ an inch. So I'm going to use my curve to connect all the points together. So what happens here is that I have added my butt sitting allowance, okay, on the hip, all right at the back of my skirt. Now I'm going to mark out the length of my skirts and then I would cut it out. After cutting this out, I'll move over to the side, okay, and then from the knee I'm going to measure what I have down to the hemline, and then I would place it just immediately after the zipper allowance and then measure it outward like this, all right, and then I'm going to connect it just like this, okay. Now after this, I'm going to come down by 5 inches, and from here I'm going to go in by 8 inches, and I'm going to use my curve to connect the 2 points together. And then afterwards, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out, okay. So you can see the way I'm slightly connecting this. This is what we give it the mermaid shape, okay. So please do that carefully. After that, go ahead and cut out your zipper allowance, and then we have our front and back mermaid skirt, okay. Now I'm going to move over to the side because I don't want this to be too pointy. I would go up by 1 inch and then connect it back just like this, all right. So guys, I would go ahead and cut it out, and voila, this is how to cut out a mermaid skirt with a train. I hope you guys find this tutorial helpful. If you do, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't hit on the follow button or the subscribe button, please do that right now. I will see you in my next one. Bye.